Let me tell you a little bit about nuclear war. This is something serious. I realize it's serious, but if you don't come to church, you're probably never going to hear it. So I'm going to tell you some facts. You ready for some facts about nuclear war if it were to happen? Too heavy for you. I skipped this? No? Are you still with me? All right, let's do this. Number one, and this is from a book, by the way, just called Nuclear War, a Scenario, by a writer named Annie Jacobson. She said this, I'm summarizing. The U.S. president cannot declare war. You know that, right? The U.S. president has no authority, no power to declare war. But he can start a nuclear war. You say, what? Yep, it makes no sense, but that's the law in America. The president has no authority to start any war unless it's a nuclear war. Number two, the U.S. president cannot retaliate or respond to any early warning system of an impending nuclear attack for 6 minutes. So the moment they see that a launch happens from Russia, they have 6 minutes that they must wait. And the president will think it over for 6 minutes. The U.S. strategy is based on the assumption that A, nobody will launch, and B, if somebody launches, it won't be us. So the whole war game scenario is built around this premise that we will not be the first to strike. Which is a funny thing because the U.S. is the only country to have struck another country using nuclear weapons. We made the first strike twice. So we are not as innocent as we'd like to believe. 5, the potential destruction is billions of casualties. It goes from million in the first few seconds to hundreds of millions to billions within about a week. The USA has 400 underground silos and about 1,770 nuclear weapons deployed. Deployed means that it can be launched within 60 seconds to 2 hours. Russia has about an equal number, 1,674 nuclear weapons deployed. Even if launched from mainland Russia, it would take only 26 minutes and 40 seconds for the missile from Russia to reach the U.S. East Coast. That's all you got, 26 minutes, while Biden is thinking for his first 6 minutes. Where did I leave my glasses? Where did I leave my teeth? It would take, you got another crazy superpower that doesn't like us. You got North Korea. They don't like us. So they can usually they want to start this stuff with some madman. Like, the war of World War II started with the assassination of Ferdinand, Archduke Ferdinand, whatever his name was. And he was like, that's just an excuse. Why would the whole world go to war for that guy? But they'll use some crazy event like that, like a false flag it's called. And what's his name? Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un. Like a teenager with a nuclear weapon. It would take 33 minutes for a nuclear missile from Pyongyang, North Korea to reach Washington, D.C. And submarines are much faster and much worse. They are undetectable until it's too late. So she called them sneaky hell machines. The submarines now are the deadliest deployers of nuclear weapons. Number 7. A lot of people don't know this. Launch missiles cannot be recalled and cannot be redirected unless you're Superman and you're in Superman number 2. Superman did that, right? 2 nuclear warheads went off, and then Superman kind of pushed them around. Well, that's total fiction. We don't have any way to redirect a nuclear missile. So once one goes, that's it. The cascading effect is just awful. And we're in the red horse, which is a time of war, so we need to pray that sane people rule this country. Number 8, it's my comment. I believe we're absolutely mad to not talk to Putin. We are one misunderstanding away from a nuclear World War III, or possibly one false flag event away from the apocalyptic red horse unleashing maximum pain. I believe wise, reconciliatory, cooperative communication could solve so many global problems. Is it worth Is it worth risking World War III by putting Ukraine into NATO? Who would think that's worth it? All we'd have to say is just call up Putin and say, you know what, we cancel that plan. We don't think that's a smart move. We don't want to do that. Is this heavy? It's pretty heavy. That's the heaviest part. Okay, I'm going to start landing here. Pastor said we circle around a lot, preachers. We're going to land. I'm going to land, okay? How shall we pray? Can you allow me to teach you how the New Testament teaches us to pray for justice? If you'd like to know more how I pray, I said, please go download a free chapter. All free. DiscoverChurch.Online/I pray. I'm giving a free chapter so that you see how I've prayed prayers that got answered for the past 30 years. Prayers that got answered. I'm collecting them into a book. I'm nearly done. Just taking a while because I'm going state to state to state nonstop. But you go to DiscoverChurch.Online/I pray, download it for free, and it will show you the subject of deliverance. How do you get delivered from suffering and enemies? Just one out of maybe about 50 chapters I'll do. Short chapters. This one is one of the longer ones, so I give it to you for free. You may have never heard of it before. It may raise some questions in your mind, but just be open enough to search for it in the Bible. We're lopsided. We've lost the balance. We've lost the balance. We're so heavy on love, mercy, and grace because it feels good to us. It's all about us. Bless me, take care of me, forgive me. But we forgot, what about the injustices in this world? What about all the pain and suffering in this world? Anyone going to correct that? People can do grave sins and we have no power? I'm going to show you we have power. Paul had power. Did we lose this power? And see, God is so wise. He thought about all this ahead of time. Somebody later on would preach cessationism. You know what this is, right? They say, well, the miracles were done away with. The gifts were done away with. This kind of power was done away with. You say, well, when was it done away with? Oh, with Jesus. Then you open the New Testament and you say, wait a second. Peter, John, they're healing the blind, the lame. So come again, when did this power end? Oh, it ended not with Jesus. It ended with the 12 apostles. Okay, so you go a little bit further in the book of Acts, you find Acts 13. Oh, who's Paul? He's not even part of the 12 apostles. You can't even say if you walk with Jesus and the power dissipated with those people who got to be physically close to Jesus. Paul never even met Jesus other than in a vision. So come again, when did these gifts dissipate? The New Testament says Jesus Christ the same today, yesterday, today, and forever. They never vanished. They never disappeared. This is the teaching of the Lord. The message of justice under the new covenant is the teaching of the Lord, the doctrine of the Lord. It's never changed.
Is our nation on the decline? Will America be judged? Or will God have his own great reset? What if God is about to birth Christian nations all over the earth? What if Christians are about to be given authority to rule with the King? Are you ready? Christians have lost a theology of justice. The church has forgotten the template for good government. The time has come for transformation. Pastor Steve Cioccolanti's book, Trump's Unfinished Business, contains 10 prophecies to save America and any nation whose leaders will obey. Get a copy of Trump's Unfinished Business, 10 Prophecies to Save America for yourself by going to Amazon.com or scan the QR code on your screen. Listen to what readers are saying. Alan Parker, president of Justice Foundation, said, "We need pastors and preachers to read this book and apply the law of God correctly and preach it again to America and to the world." Dr. Dennis Lindsay, CEO of Christ for the Nations, said, "The insights of this book will provide hope for the future of America and preserve its calling as a lighthouse to the nations." And Rod B. wrote on Amazon, "Excellent, insightful, and offers solutions to a broken world." Get Pastor Steve Cioccolanti's best-selling book on Amazon.com or scan the QR code on your screen today.